Just about.
Let's go.
Born from the many folds of reality, especially the most radioactive and toxic ones, comes another shitcast. What's going on, folks? I've returned once again to the fold to express my disdain for humanity and all things conceited within Supreme Commander. Force Alliance forever. Unfortunately, this is quite the, well, it's not going to be a very long one if I speed things up, since obviously these build orders don't mean very much. This is just the little bits and pieces that we don't really care too much about, unless it's expressly unique. I mean, one guy just walks over to the right a little bit just to build a factory. It's like, whatever. You get the gist of what goes on. But we have ourselves the shitcast here, basically a dumpster baby that I found in some corner of the earth, buried beneath the sand. And we have two of our players here, one of them being Icestation1, the first of many of his kind, playing as Cybran. Gonna be up here in this corner. And down here we have Photon. I don't recall if Photon's been featured already. I feel like he already has. He's debuted already. He's had his moment to shine. If not, this will be the first among many to come, no doubt. And we're on Forbidden Pass, a map we have yet to see enter the fray. My god. How much must I increase the sim speed? The simulation must continue. We must get some action. With not a whole lot going on to say, although Photon is definitely getting a head start going on getting all these engineers out and about. His ACU is still in the base though. He's getting transports. That's fairly meta. Those engineers and the factories are unfortunately going to pop like balloons because, you know, unfortunately, this isn't the reality that Photon, would like to have, but the one that is given to him. As these little fuckers scurry on by, we have little bits of what? Oh wow, there's just action going on everywhere. Maybe this is the time to slam the brakes here. Actually getting some action. The transport obviously went over here to drop some engineers and some in this corner. I doubt this will hold on very long without any units to back them up. The Mantis are swarming on by to catch any prey. This has been reduced to nothing thanks to that bomber. And an engineer was dropped over here. Where's that other one? Did he just like back off after that? He's had his fill of the shenanigans over here, but unfortunately one of the security guards has spotted him. He is yep, he caught his scent right behind him, saw the trail, went right after to pursue him. Oh dear. With transports and the various ilk spreading around, no doubt going to drop over here if he's the wiser to catch on. It's just raids going on, just little bits here and there. Photon's not having a very strong lead, not having really any tanks. Alright, this is the force that he can muster at the very moment. One of them seems to have had a malfunction there. Seems the fuel container or whatever on there is erupted. Smoke. But luckily he's going to be able to defend this position here with whatever little bits of tanks that he has there. Bombers kind of peppering them, but with those anti-air it's not going to last very long. And what else? A lot more production going on. Well, just up here for the most part. Nothing's really pouring out anymore of the main base, but Ice Station is going to be looking to try to get a grasp on things over here. ACU's moved up. Some little bits of raids going on. The mole's arch nemesis. This, what is that called? Lobo. Lobo's the discount version of... no, not really discount, just pitiful version of the Zooey. As the Mantis are spreading around, trying to covet the land for their own. And there's another transport. Icestation will be moving on to do that. He's gonna find out real quick how much of a predicament he's in if he doesn't get much of his turf secured. Instead, he's just going straight for T3. I didn't even pay attention. That or I noticed and I just threw it in the back of my mind. Because why pay attention to these things? This is a shitcast. Our attention is greatly spanning over many battlefields. And he dropped those engineers to accomplish what exactly? Capturing these? Well, there goes one. And here goes one of the raids here. Apparently they didn't notice the factories back here, so they're just gonna let that scooch on by. Unfortunately, he's gonna find out very shortly of what's coming as Icestation's influence is spreading amok over into the west. Meanwhile, his base is actually getting a little bit soaked in some heavy fire. He doesn't really have any tanks in here to actually defend himself. He's just got some bomber that got picked off now, but that's not going to hold out very well. There goes the Cerberus turret there. Luckily, was able to defend himself. And some reinforcements came along the way to help out. Oh my. What an unfortunate accident. So much more is going on here as T3 is about to arrive for Photon. He did the... Yeah, I recall. He did the strategy where he dropped his ACU on one of his opponent's base. I recall this man. This Parasac here. Parasacs? Means he's got 4 testicles. This man's double loaded. He's got a double-barreled shotgun down there. Oh, Lord. What a grotesque fucking metaphor that I threw down there, or just... Ugh. I don't even want to entertain that thought anymore. Much more of the map, though, is falling over to Icestation's control, as Photon's ACU is going to be moving out. What's it got cooked up? I want to keep it a surprise. I don't want to stick my head in too far. I'd like to be mildly amused when I see these shitcasts. Don't spoil myself too much. And what's going on? He's got TACCOM. And look how quickly, just even at regular speed, those missiles are flying out. Does he even have the eco? He does have the eco. He actually has 4 T2 mexes, somehow able to sustain T3 comm, firing and lobbing all those missiles at his targets. His opponent even has... Oh, man. There goes T2 PGens. Oh, God. He has no TMD. He has no T2 engineers. He's lost it all. My God. Is he actually going to lose all this shit to this TACCOM? I'm trying to make sure I don't miss out, but there goes a T3 HQ. Those poor Cyberns in there, unfortunately, nerfed. I don't even understand the nerf myself. I guess it feels outdated now that balance is sort of shifted around. But Cyber and T3 HQs, they can die to 1 TML from any faction, I'm pretty sure. So you better watch yourself, Cyberns. You may be packing heat, but those ass cheeks, they're pink and ripe for the taking. Oh, God. And now, just in response to that heavy toll that he's taken, Icestation's trying to rebuild here, but he's trying to press on with the assault. Gunships aren't going to probably help very well in this situation. He's not targeting the mobile AAs very well, so those are going to go down rather quickly. And he's got his ACU now locked on to new targets here. He's going to go after the... Oh, wow. The factories, which I guess build power does actually make a big deal in this situation. You need lots of that before your eco just hemorrhages to oblivion. But he's just deciding to go ahead and, yeah, you know, he's going to build some cruisers, which I suppose isn't too bad. He kind of needs to prioritize the fact that he doesn't really have any units on the ground, but I guess he doesn't really care for boots on the ground so much as he does static, weird. This is more like Plant vs. Zombies or tower defense is what it all equates to at the end of the day. And oh boy, he's getting ready to go for it. He's trying to respawn with his own T1 subs, but I doubt that's going to be able to do much at the moment. This attack is just going to be reduced to nothing. He's already got servers still up there. Even though he has some of his eco up, he's got to rebuild and maintain his control over the map. Try to get his eco that he has stable and prepare for the defense, because now he's just spamming. He's spamming all these goddamn freaking cruisers. Some words just float out of my head, some just kind of linger for a little too long. That's what happens when you smoke too much weed, kids. Dog the meme dealer, better known for his efforts in destroying the youth with drugs and alcohol. He's got a sizable force here. He needs to coordinate some kind of attack to, you know, hit him where it hurts most, which is the eco. Because right now, I think he does have... No, he just still has T2 eco overall. Hasn't really built much beyond what's in his core base. Right now, it's just the cruisers that's going to be doing all the work for him. And oh boy, more attacks that just basically do nothing. Why do people do this? Why do people just target their units to one spot and expect anything to happen? It's actually satisfying to watch these T2 transports actually dealing some damage. They're targeting this poor little Lobo with EMP and pitiful amounts of damage. Thank God these cruisers are around to, you know, stop them. Is he getting TMD up? Yeah, he's working on it. He's trying to consolidate his defenses now, but unfortunately he needs to do a lot more work in order to get himself in a better position. Oh, and holy shit, enemy at the beaches. They are trying to press through. Unfortunately, there's only just that little small crevice that he is able to pierce through. Unfortunately, all these gunships are just going to spook him off before they can do any real damage. These cruisers are going to be pretty brutal if they actually position themselves against that spot. It's going to take out all these mexes here. Oof. Sad man every day. It's going to get my jostles going. I don't even know what jostles are. I just heard that word and it's retained into my brain now. Here's the T3 mechs. We're all expecting this to happen. What is Ice Station's plan here? He's got T3 land now, evident by the brick that's walking by the army, slowly creeping towards his base. Oh, he's got Corsairs going. Ah, well, typical snipe option. Cybern's. They have those readily available at every stage, it seems. T1 Jesters, T2 Corsairs, T3 Corsair Loyalists, right? I guess you can count strap bombers and shit like that, but that's just what everyone has. And Fire Beetles, I forgot to mention those at T2. And Monkey Lord. Some cheese strats that those damn Cyberns are known for. He is going to have a hard time with this if he doesn't get his act together. He needs to get some kind of... He needs to get a much more reinforced land presence here to actually fight back. He needs to do something about these cruisers, is more importantly what he should be doing. There goes a brick. sacrificing himself for the greater cause, basically getting caught up on T1PD. Unfortunately, he's like basically going to die to nothing. Oh, but that T1PD, no, it's never mind, it's an air defense grid. There goes an ACU. Just, oh wait, no, he's actually got flak there, so he's going to be fine. I thought it was basically going to be the end of it, but now he's lost a lot of his TMD. A lot of these structures here, his eco, T2 PGen, he's lost it. Thanks to those gunships, and these cruisers are just going to pepper him to rubble. What else can you really say beyond that, except how the fuck is he really going to do much with this? The sad tone in my face that you cannot see cannot quite express how disappointed I am that Icestation hasn't been able to kill Photon right just yet. I mean, he's certainly got the forces now. He's building up quite the substantial units and ground mobility. What the fuck am I talking about? It's just ground stuff. It's units. What else can you describe them as? His presence is really not as staggering as it used to be, though. Now Photon's just giving him the hard dick. As the PGens and everything collapse, no doubt, yeah, he's got his PGens and power back up over there. But he needs to get something going. Needs to figure out where his ACU is and target that. Oh, he's even getting a quantum gateway. Gonna get some shield preset. Really? Is that a bubble? Yeah, he's going for bubble. How did I click on the wrong person? That's ridiculous. Yeah, he's just going Rambo. I thought that was the dome preset. Absolutely mad. That fool is. Oh, but lordy lo. Loki here. Well, unfortunately, oh, there's the Corsairs. They're going after T3 PGens. Well, I guess they're gonna just focus on what they can to destroy this base. And as the bricks roll in, this is basically what settles the deal as far as what's here. He has no units. In fact, he's even leading the charge himself. His own ACU. Goes basically the primary eco. He had T3 mexes here. That is so unfortunate. And his response to this is to build Atlantis. Does he even have eco elsewhere? Not really. Whatever he's held on to, it's basically just a fleeting thought. You really should try to figure out how to kill these cruisers. That's actually like the first sign of any other units from the start here. He's built up quite a bit of T1 tanks. Incredible. Now he's trying to build up some torp bombers, some Corsairs, but he really needs to get on this. Photon's ACU has got a lot of HP. He's a pretty hefty fellow. Does he have... yeah, he does have RAS, so that's where his eco is coming from. Icestation is going to try to rebuild onto his own core base here. So now we have not a base trade, but basically just a turf war now. He's claimed this territory of his own. And now Photon is seeking Poseidon's help to reclaim the seas and maintain his dominance in the game overall. Is there not a unit called a Poseidon in this? I am so shocked. Is there not a Poseidon? No, there isn't. You've got Atlantis, but Poseidon isn't like a naval unit that's already used? I'm just surprised with all the various names that are used in this game. And my oh my. Progressively, it's just getting much more tedious to look at. You can't help but feel bad for these players. Being where they're at, oh, it's a really tragic thing. I don't hate noobs. Don't ever think that I'm just bashing noobs. But sometimes you need some harsh love. And in situations like this, where you see the map kind of transpire like this, it's kind of well earned, I'd say. He's got loyalists up here, which will probably kill. Honestly, Bricks would do a better job. He's actually even just losing these to T1 units. He just doesn't have any of his other units up here with him. What are these whalers doing? Accomplishing nothing, I'd say. There's already cruisers over here. He just decided to strafe on in to do something. But that's not really going to get him anywhere. Dear God. He needs to double down somewhere. His eco, oh wow. I mean, Photon's obviously been able to just turtle up. Well, not even turtle up. He's just been ecoing this whole time. And then doing some occasionally fun plays, like dropping his opponent's base. Or nearby, anyway, to pick off his entire infrastructure. My God. And he's just got his goddamn cruisers, those governors, they're sitting there just pelting spitballs at what was once his own core base. How does it feel, Chadlet? Just an occasional... He stopped building land units at this point. He doesn't have... Well, he's got T3 eco, right? Not all of it, yeah, I would assume. I can't even discern. I'm such a... He's got T1 mexes here. I'm looking for it. T2. Why can I not see his eco? Dear God, am I such a boomer? There it is. Jesus. Ice Station, what's going on, bro? You're freaking me the fuck out. He's getting real skittish now that he's away. He's got his units just hiding in the back. He's scuttling to safety. He's hiding in every corner. He knows who his enemy is. Photon by name. He certainly have watched his previous shitcast. He should have known what was coming. Oh, Lord. Whalers are just giving themselves away now, though. So, like, might as well have... Oh, there goes the squadron going for the snipe. Is he... No, he's... He went for the cruiser. How very tragic. There was the ACU right there. Would have had quite a bit there to actually deal some damage. But unfortunately, he lacked the foresight. The prowess. Did he not see that this was like probably the only unit here that's submerged? That was probably a dead giveaway right there. Oh, jeez. And it's almost as if the game is over. I do not know what's happening right now. I guess we've just been drugged into the purgatory of shitcasting, where the game just stops. There's no pulse left in this son of a bitch. And finally some gunfire left and right, but geez, this is a hellish landscape for sure. I was able to detect that. I thought that... Oh no, it's because he doesn't even have power. Yep. Nothing left, dude. This is a really grim sight to behold. Oh dear. Seems like the Atlantis is about to give birth to something here. He's building broadswords inside of that thing. Probably his whipped cream on the top of the cake here to settle things down. End the game once and for all. Unless he actually does something with this, which is unlikely because all these broadswords, I mean, they're gonna kill some shit totally, but oh dear, they're going after the Rambo SACU, and there they go. My God, as if like the entire hive responded to the threat. Have you ever seen this shit too? Gunships actually fire their cannons at other gunships and transports. If you didn't know that, so they actually would do ridiculous damage if like these broadswords were against a Soul Ripper. I would actually say that's probably the best counter. More so than the ASFs versus experimental gunship. Well, that was mopped up rather easily. He's just, you know, he's just wipes his hands off. He's ready to finish the job here. He really has nothing left. Does he even have... Yeah, he has some Corsairs, but I don't know where they went. The Corsairs just kind of gave up. They're just gonna finish off what's left here, and unfortunately, I think he's next on the menu. There is nothing that this jagged little insect can do against such a tyrannical force. Those broadswords, man, they are a whopping heap of pure power destruction. No amount of TMD is going to save you, friend. Unfortunately, you lack to see the true threat that arrives here now, which is the broadswords. And finally, the game comes to the conclusion it so desires, truly. My God. Stunned by the turn of events here. Yes, silliest game over, ever. Yes, it's game over, but it is indeed the silliest game ever. I do not know what really happened, what transpired here. It was a whole lot of fun. At least this was much more ridiculous than I was anticipating out of these two players. And Photon this time, he seems to have claimed the sea for his own. I say sea, but it's just this little canal that is completely disembodied from any major source of water. Or sea, rather. So, unfortunately, Photon's going to... Well, why do I say unfortunately? Photon is the winner here. I say unfortunately because, well, he's going to be the winner of today's shitcast. It's not a real title that you should really be proud of, but I guess it's all in fun and games. You get to walk away with this one, friend. Today is your day to shine. You have every opportunity to learn from this, though. You don't need to sit there and rush T3 on ACU. You can be better. Obviously, Icestation wasn't strong enough to repel your strategies, but he'll learn eventually, and so will you in time. You will need to overcome and over-adapt. That's something I made up today. Alright, well, that concludes this shitcast. Thanks, everyone, for just sticking around as long as you have. And I'll see you on whatever else I'm going to be creating here. Alright, take care, guys.